When news broke that Kyrie Irving requested a trade from the Cleveland Cavaliers, the NBA world was thrown into a whirlwind of speculation and disbelief. Fans were left in shock, media outlets scrambled to make sense of the move, and teammates, most notably LeBron James, were confronted with an emotional reality few could have anticipated. This wasn't just a player leaving, it was a pivotal moment that could alter the trajectory of a franchise built around one of the greatest basketball players of all time. Tyronn Lue, who coached LeBron and Kyrie during their time together in Cleveland, recently spoke out about the situation, shedding light on the depth of LeBron's emotions. Lue suggested that if Kyrie had stayed, the Cavaliers might have had a real chance to win another championship. He went even further, imagining a world where Kevin Durant never joined the Golden State Warriors. Cleveland could have even achieved a three-peat. Lue's insight offers a rare glimpse into the emotional side of LeBron, usually seen as a composed and unshakable leader. According to Lue, LeBron pleaded with team management to keep Kyrie. He even tried to persuade Kyrie himself, emphasizing how important he was to the team's long-term success. Lue described a haunting scene. During an autograph signing event, LeBron sat next to teammate Bron, silently absorbing the news that Kyrie had been traded to Boston. The usually vocal and commanding superstar appeared stunned and silent, laying back in his chair for nearly 10 minutes, processing a reality that was hard to accept. This reaction tells us more than words ever could. LeBron saw Kyrie as more than just a teammate. He viewed him as the future leader of the Cavaliers, someone who could carry the team forward when he eventually stepped back. Losing Kyrie wasn't just losing a talented player, it was losing the potential to pass the torch to a successor who could maintain Cleveland's competitiveness for years to come. But the story doesn't end there. As fans and analysts dissected the trade, speculation arose about what really led to Kyrie's departure. Was it purely a personal decision, or were there deeper layers of conflict and past grievances? The answers would soon come from a combination of insider revelations, candid interviews, and careful examination of what happened behind the scenes. In Cleveland, a city still buzzing from the emotional highs of a championship, the trade became a defining moment. It was the intersection of superstar ambition, personal growth, and professional rivalry. Understanding the emotions and motivations behind this decision requires peeling back the layers of relationships, trust, and the unspoken pressures of competing at the highest level. And at the center of it all stood LeBron James, grappling with feelings of loss, disappointment, and the challenge of guiding his team through an unexpected upheaval. While Tyronn Lue's account provided an inside look at LeBron's visible heartbreak, not everyone agreed with the narrative he presented. Veteran NBA analyst Rob Parker offered a different perspective, one that added complexity to the story of Kyrie Irving's departure from Cleveland. According to Parker, there were sources within the Cavaliers organization that suggested a deeper reason behind Kyrie's decision to leave, something tied not just to the trade, but to trust and past actions. Parker revealed that Kyrie may have discovered that shortly after winning the championship with LeBron, the superstar had considered trading him for Chris Paul. Learning that the player he had battled alongside and shared the ultimate success with once contemplated moving him away was a blow. According to these insiders, this knowledge left a lasting impact, causing Kyrie to question his place on the team and the loyalty of his teammate. Trust, Parker implied, had been broken, and once that foundation cracked, it became nearly impossible to rebuild. What makes Parker's account compelling is how it frames Kyrie's decision as an act of self-preservation and independence. Unlike some narratives that paint him as disloyal or mercenary, Parker argued that Kyrie was making a rational choice to take control of his own career. He had already proven himself by hitting the game-winning shot in the NBA Finals, securing his own championship. Now, he wanted to be the leader of his team, to create his own path rather than remain in the shadow of another superstar. Moreover, Parker highlighted the risks Kyrie took in leaving Cleveland. By pursuing a trade and considering teams like the New York Knicks, he was potentially sacrificing financial gain and immediate comfort for personal growth and leadership opportunities. It was a bold move that emphasized his desire to establish his own legacy, rather than simply joining another super team to chase more rings. This perspective challenges the simple narrative of a superstar duo splitting up over disagreements or personality clashes. Instead, it paints a picture of complex human emotions, decisions rooted in both history and ambition, and the delicate balance between loyalty and self-interest in professional sports. For Kyrie, leaving Cleveland was not an act of betrayal. It was a statement of autonomy, a calculated decision to step out of the shadows and forge his own destiny, regardless of the risks or criticism he might face. While insider accounts and analysis offered context for Kyrie Irving's departure, LeBron James' own words revealed the deeply personal side of the story. Far from the composed and unshakable leader the public often sees, LeBron admitted to a whirlwind of emotions when he learned Kyrie wanted to be traded. The initial shock was just the beginning. What followed was a mix of self-reflection, doubt, and concern for both his teammate and the future of the Cavaliers. LeBron openly questioned himself. Had he done enough as a mentor? Did his presence, the coaching changes, or management decisions contribute to Kyrie's choice? These questions exposed a rarely seen vulnerability in a player usually known for confidence and control. More than anything, LeBron cared about Kyrie's growth, both as a player and as a leader. He had spent countless hours trying to teach Kyrie the nuances of the game, how to score efficiently, manage the floor, pass effectively, defend, and inspire his teammates. In essence, LeBron had been preparing Kyrie to take over the reins of the franchise one day. LeBron's reflections also highlighted his vision for the future of the Cavaliers. He saw Kyrie not just as a current star, but as someone who could help him age gracefully in Cleveland, ensuring that the team remained competitive even as he approached the later stages of his career. Losing Kyrie wasn't simply losing a talented teammate, it was losing a carefully nurtured successor, someone who could carry the team forward and maintain the culture of winning that LeBron had worked so hard to build. The range of emotions LeBron experienced went beyond disappointment. He felt a profound sense of responsibility. As someone who had always taken on the role of leader, he carried the weight of the team's success and failures. Kyrie's decision forced him to confront questions about loyalty, mentorship, and how much influence a superstar should have over the development of younger players. And ultimately, LeBron's reaction humanized one of the greatest players in NBA history. It showed that even the most dominant athletes are not immune to heartbreak, doubt, and personal conflict. His concern wasn't just about losing a championship-caliber player, it was about losing a teammate he had invested in emotionally and professionally. In this light, Kyrie's departure wasn't simply a trade, it was a pivotal moment that challenged LeBron's role as a mentor, leader, and friend. While LeBron James was navigating the emotional turmoil of Kyrie Irving's trade request, Kyrie himself was making a calculated, introspective decision. Unlike the narratives often spun by media or fans, Kyrie's departure wasn't a simple act of disloyalty. It was a deliberate choice rooted in personal growth, leadership aspirations, and self-preservation. Kyrie openly admitted that he did not consult LeBron before meeting with the Cavaliers' management about his trade request. To many, this may seem surprising, considering LeBron's status as the team leader and one of the greatest players in the world. But for Kyrie, it was about agency, taking control of his career and charting his own path. At the time, he recognized that while LeBron was focused on his legacy and the team's immediate success, Kyrie needed to carve out his own identity as a leader on the court. NHE reflected on his youth, acknowledging that as a 22-year-old rising star, he wanted everything within his grasp. He wanted to be the go-to player, the leader, and the central figure who could take his team to the next level. Kyrie understood that this ambition sometimes clashed with the reality of playing alongside a superstar of LeBron's caliber, who naturally commanded the spotlight. Accepting this tension required maturity, self-awareness, and a willingness to make tough decisions for the sake of long-term development. Kyrie also drew from his experiences in Cleveland when mentoring younger players in Boston, such as Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. He understood firsthand the challenges of managing egos, fostering respect, and maintaining team cohesion, especially with rising stars. These lessons helped him become a more strategic and empathetic leader, capable of guiding others while still asserting his own role on the team. Furthermore, Kyrie's move was a calculated risk in multiple dimensions. By requesting a trade, he potentially sacrificed financial security, immediate comfort, and the chance to chase another championship alongside LeBron. Instead, he chose autonomy and the opportunity to define his own legacy. Even considering teams like the New York Knicks, an organization that hadn't won a championship since 1973, highlighted Kyrie's willingness to embrace challenges and take responsibility for shaping a team in his own image. In many ways, Kyrie's departure was a statement against the prevailing super team mentality in the NBA. Rather than joining forces with other stars simply to secure more titles, he sought to lead on his own terms. This decision underscored a broader theme: personal growth, leadership, and integrity can be just as valuable as championships. And ultimately, Kyrie's perspective reframes the narrative. His choice was not an act of betrayal, but a demonstration of independence, resilience, and foresight. While LeBron's emotions reflected loss and mentorship, Kyrie's reflected ambition and responsibility. By stepping away, he asserted that success isn't defined solely by who you play with. It's about carving your own path and becoming the leader you were meant to be. Kyrie Irving's departure from Cleveland didn't just impact the Cavaliers. It sent shockwaves throughout the entire NBA. Trades of this magnitude rarely exist in isolation. They reshape team dynamics, shift league power balances, and influence how players approach their own careers. Kyrie's decision became a defining example of how personal ambition and professional strategy intersect at the highest level. For the Cavaliers, the immediate challenge was clear: adapt and rebuild. Losing a player of Kyrie's caliber left a void not only on the court but in the team's leadership structure. LeBron had invested years mentoring Kyrie, preparing him to eventually assume the mantle of the franchise. Now, the team had to recalibrate, finding new ways to maintain cohesion and competitiveness. What was once a tandem built for championship glory became a transitional moment requiring resilience, strategy, and patience. And beyond Cleveland, Kyrie's choice sparked conversations across the league about player empowerment. His willingness to step away from the comfort and certainty of a championship contender highlighted a growing trend in the NBA. Players taking control of their own careers rather than simply chasing rings alongside established superstars. By prioritizing personal growth, leadership opportunities, and autonomy, Kyrie set an example for other young stars who might otherwise feel compelled to join superteams. Financially, Kyrie also made a bold move. In leaving Cleveland, he risked potentially forfeiting millions in guaranteed contracts. Instead, he opted for an opportunity to lead, to make decisions that aligned with his personal vision of success. Teams like the New York Knicks, though historically struggling, represented a chance to take on a challenge and leave a lasting mark on a franchise. This move underscored Kyrie's commitment to defining his legacy on his own terms. Moreover, Kyrie's departure influenced team-building strategies across the league. Front offices saw firsthand how superstar ambitions, trust issues, and personal growth objectives could shape roster decisions in unexpected ways. The ripple effect extended beyond individual trades, affecting draft strategies, player development approaches, and how teams balanced superstar egos with team chemistry. And ultimately, Kyrie's move was more than a trade. It was a statement. It challenged the conventional wisdom that success in the NBA is measured solely by championships won alongside other stars. By stepping away from Cleveland, he demonstrated that leadership, independence, and the courage to forge one's own path could be just as powerful as a ring. In doing so, Kyrie Irving didn't just leave Cleveland, he left an indelible mark on the NBA landscape itself. Looking back, the Kyrie-LeBron saga is about far more than a trade. It's a story of trust, leadership, and the complex human dynamics that exist behind the glamour of professional basketball. Both players were navigating enormous pressures, personal ambitions, and high expectations, and their choices reflect the challenges of balancing individual goals with team success. In LeBron James, Kyrie's departure was a profound lesson in mentorship and the limits of influence. Despite his efforts to guide Kyrie, to teach him the intricacies of leadership, and to prepare him for the responsibility of carrying a franchise, LeBron had to accept that some decisions were beyond his control. It highlighted the vulnerability that even the greatest athletes face, how investing emotionally in teammates can leave one exposed when trust and loyalty are questioned. Kyrie Irving, on the other hand, demonstrated the courage required to step out of the shadow of a superstar. By taking full responsibility for his career path, he prioritized independence and personal growth over comfort and immediate success. His decision to leave Cleveland, forego potential financial security, and embrace the challenge of leading his own team sent a message across the league. Greatness isn't just about championships. It's about vision, autonomy, and the willingness to take risks for your own development. Their story also provides a blueprint for how professional athletes can approach leadership and mentorship. LeBron's dedication to preparing Kyrie illustrates the importance of fostering talent and guiding younger players. while Kyrie's decision shows that growth sometimes requires stepping away to carve your own path. Together, they reveal the delicate balance between teamwork and individual ambition in the NBA, a balance that often defines the legacies of the league's brightest stars. And ultimately, the lessons from Cleveland go beyond basketball. They speak to life's broader challenges: how to handle disappointment, how to mentor without controlling, and how to make difficult choices in pursuit of personal and professional growth. LeBron and Kyrie's journey is a reminder that even in moments of conflict or separation, respect, reflection, and responsibility can create meaningful lessons. NTHE legacy of their time together is multi-layered. LeBron's influence on Kyrie's development remains clear, as does Kyrie's boldness in asserting his independence. Together, their story captures the intersection of talent, ambition, and human emotion, a narrative that will continue to resonate with fans, players, and analysts for years to come. It's a story of heartbreak and triumph, mentorship and self-determination, and ultimately, the enduring complexity of greatness in the NBA.